Hey, this is Natalie Grant, and you're listening to Dispatch Radio.
We have a great guest on, folks, and if you've seen the movie Courageous, I know we had definitely promoted that, had a screening that we promoted here locally in the Tampa Bay area. You know him as the Snake King, but he's in a great movie coming out on Mother's Day called Mom's Night Out. Robert Amaya, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, my friend?
Oh, we're so blessed, and it's great to be able to get a chance to talk to you, and we talked about October Baby that you had done after Courageous, but this is the Mother's Day film, Mom's Night Out. Seems like a great, great fun time, clean for mom, clean for kids, that kind of thing. Tell everybody a little bit about what they're going to expect in this film.
Well, first off, Mom's Night Out is just it's a riot from top to bottom. I mean, talk about a family film that just makes you laugh and makes you want to just walk out of it loving and hugging each other. It's a great movie about our main character, Allison, and, you know, she has spent most of her life being mom, stay-at-home mom, and she can't remember the last time she's had an adult conversation, and she finally gets the opportunity to have a mom's night out, and so she and her friends go out while all the hubbies decide to take care of the kids and take care of the home. I mean, what could possibly go wrong, right? So that's pretty much the premise behind Mom's Night Out.
And as we know, everything will go wrong. It's a mayhem film. We had spoken to John Irwin, who really talked about this resurgence of, you know, the mayhem films, you know, obviously the ones that, you know, you or I may not even be able to sit through because they're so inappropriate for adults, let alone kids, like Hangovers and those kinds of things. But a film like this just kind of takes the the antics. I think we talked about the babysitter, one of the babysitter movies from the 80s and that kind of thing. But basically, as far as we understand, everything goes wrong in this film, right?
Everything that could possibly go wrong finds a way of going wrong. And like I said, though, it's done in such great taste. And anyone who's ever had kids or knows someone with kids or has ever, you know, seen kids out in public will be able to relate. Like I said, it's just a great comedy, feel-good comedy, great family film, very clean. It does bring an important style into this genre of faith-based films.
And that is definitely a great, great point of topic. You know, faith-based films don't bring a lot of comedies, to the table, and definitely not a lot of laugh-out-loud comedies. And this film appears to definitely bring a lot of those things. And your character, Marco, what is the little spin on Marco's role in all this? Is he one of the dads stuck in the chaos, or is he a different external character?
No, that's absolutely right. He is one of the dads. One of the moms there, and Marco has this. The thing about Marco, he's kind of semi-neurotic. He loves his family, but he's scared of being alone with kids. So he has these three fears. He's afraid of small children, being alone with small children. He's afraid of luchadors, that is Mexican wrestlers, and then he's also afraid of bikers and biker gangs. I mean, what a formula! And of course, he's going to run into all three in this movie.
Of course we are. It can't be better than that. I mean, what a great character. How was the character sort of presented to you? What was sort of the draft that you kind of had as the pitch for the character? And then what were your thoughts when you first read the script?
You know, right off the bat, when Kevin Downs first came across, Kevin Downs is the producer of the film, and I've known Kevin. We were both in Courageous. Many will remember him as the bad cop, the cop that went to jail. But Kevin Downs, a great guy. He produced this film, and when he got a hold of the script, he called me right away, and he said, look, I really see you as this character. Let me know what you think. And when I read it, in fact, I liked the first 3 pages of the script so much, I called my wife over, and I said, you absolutely have to listen to this. And I read the entire script out loud from top to bottom without stopping. And, I mean, we just could not stop laughing.
That's fantastic. And it just sounds like such a great film. It's called Mom's Night Out. It's opens May 9th for Mother's Day, folks. So you'll be able to take mom, take your wife, take your kids. You can walk away not having to worry about covering anybody's eyes in the middle of this film or something that's done in poor taste that surprises you. And I know that you have experience working with the Irwin brothers and, of course, Kendrick and Courageous and that kind of thing. And, of course, Kevin being a producer on this. What is the different approach the approach of making the faith-based film? How do they go about it that kind of sets them apart?
Well, you know, I think that it's two-pronged. I mean, we want excellence of storytelling, which pretty much everyone kind of wants to do. But what we also have is an excellence to standards, that is, to the morals that we understand that we need to keep. We are called to a higher standard. And when it comes to families, I mean, we just have this amazing vision and focus to want to uplift families, celebrate moms. And by the way, we do that in this film. We get to celebrate moms without devaluing dads. You know, it's done in such a beautiful way. It's very uplifting. And that's really what we wanted to do.
Now, of course, most people know your first film. You kind of exploded in the Christian community of film with the role of Javier in Courageous and that kind of thing. So I assume you still have people that stop you at dinner and whatever, and you're like, oh my gosh, you're that guy. You're the Snake King. So tell us a little bit about what that's like to be, right out of the gate. You have this sort of, this thing that's out there.
Yeah, pretty much almost everywhere I go, there's someone who wants me to, they want to take a picture with the Snake King or I have to talk or something. But it's a lot of fun. It's been an incredible blessing for me personally to have been a part of such a great film with such an important message. For me personally, it came at the perfect time when I had a little baby. My daughter wasn't even a year old when I finally got to do that film and be exposed to its message. But the most amazing thing about since Courageous and getting recognized, it's not just that people want to say hi and take the pictures. It's that everyone that comes to me comes with a story, and I love to hear how God has touched people's lives. That's something that other filmmakers or other actors probably don't get to take away often. But I get to. I really have the blessing of being able to hear people and their stories and how they got touched through a film.
Yeah, I think for me with Courageous, the biggest point for me was kind of almost a hidden message in there was, when he says to the group, I'm going to do this, I'm going to put this petition out there. And they take it like as a group thing. And he says, no, I don't really care if you guys do it. I'm going to do it. And for me, that meant so much about, it doesn't matter if you're the only guy in the room that has to stand up. It has to start somewhere. And it doesn't matter what the topic is. Courageous was so powerful to me personally on that realm. It takes just one of us, doesn't it, Robert, to just be the first guy to stand up for something?
Well, absolutely, and hence the name of Courageous. It's about having the courage, in this kind of situation, of course, having the courage through Christ and understanding what He's called us to be and what He's called us to do. And we don't have to, even though we sometimes have to stand up alone, we don't have to do things alone. We know that we have God behind us.
Robert's done some great work. Obviously, he was in an incredibly powerful pro-life film called October Baby that we had talked about and promoted as well on the show. And he's got some good stuff coming out as well. We'll give you a chance to talk about those. I saw 3 listed. They previewed 3 for me. I guess you're in Unlimited. Fred Thompson's in Unlimited, is he not?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Love Fred. I had a great time making that film.
Tell me a little bit about Unlimited first, and I want to talk about Fred.
Sure. Unlimited is a great film about a young man who ends up gets an email from his old professor saying, you got to come to Mexico. I figured out how to use our device. So he gets on a plane, goes to Mexico, and finds his professor has been killed, and now the cartel is after him. And so the only place he can find refuge is in this out of town, out in the middle of nowhere orphanage that's being managed by Fred Thompson's character and myself. In the process, this character just finds out the unlimited potential that we really have when we connect with Jesus Christ.
It's amazing. And Fred, let me get to Fred, because he's such an iconic character in Hollywood lore. I mean, everybody knows who Fred is. It's one of those things where we could say Fred Thompson, some people are kind of like, well, I think I know who he is. But when they see Fred or they hear his voice, what is it like when you first meet Fred? Because you just got to be like, oh, man, that's Fred.
Well, that's exactly it. I mean, obviously, everything that he's done for film, for stage, but then the fact that he was also, he was a nominee or running to be president. You got all that history in this guy, and then you meet him, and he's just so down to earth, so unassuming. I think that was the most impressive thing about Fred. He has so much he could be outwardly proud of, and yet he is such a humble and fun guy to be with.
It sounds amazing, and I can't wait to find out more about Unlimited. You got some other stuff coming. One's called A Long Way Off. Jason Berkey's in that. You had him as a co-star in October Baby, so tell folks a little bit about what to expect in that.
Yeah, A Long Way Off is a great, great story. It's a modern retelling of The Prodigal Son, and Jason Berkey gets to play the lead. Let me tell you, Jason he never ceases to just surprise people and how wonderful he executes. He's a great actor. He's got a great craft, and he knows how to use it. And people are going to love that film.
Sounds great. Prodigal Son story in A Long Way Off, and the last one was Alter Egos, where you get to play a pastor yourself.
That's right. I'm actually doing that as we speak. In fact, as I'm talking to you, I'm talking behind a whole lot of special effects makeup. The brilliant thing about this movie, it's about a young pastor who inherits his church from his father after he passed away. So he tries to modernize or contemporize his church, and in the process, he really upsets a lot of the older members of the church. Ends up losing his choir, and in order to try to get them back, he comes up with this crazy idea of dressing up and putting on makeup to look like an old man and infiltrate the group and try to convince them to like the pastor again. If you can imagine, something a la Mrs. Doubtfire, it's exactly what you'll find in Alter Egos. It's an absolute blast. It's my first lead, and I'm really excited about it.
That just sounds like an awesome, fun time. If nothing else, that's great. That's just absolutely great. So, tell folks a little bit about, because now you've done a few films. You obviously got three, four more coming right behind it. And as now an actor, what is it like to have that relationship with Christ? How has He sort of changed you to embrace this calling?
Well, one of the things that I loved about my experience with Sherwood Pictures and Making Courageous and the Kendrick brothers is that these guys kind of, they paved the way for a lot of us. And I learned so much from them. One of the most important things I learned was, of course, to understand the platform that we have been handed, we've been blessed with, and to be able to manage that appropriately and honorably before God. I'm so thankful for all the projects I've been able to be a part of. But let me tell you, popularity comes and goes. And today, people still talk about the Snake King. Eventually that will die down. And what I want people to not ever stop talking about is what Jesus Christ has done in their life. That they remember what Christ did on behalf of them, what He did on the cross and what He's doing before His Father for them. That's what I care about. And if I leave this earth and that's all people remember about Robert Amaya, then you know what? I did a great job.
Amen. Great story. Great talking to you. I guess we'll get a chance to talk to you as these other films start to drop. Mom's Night Out opens May the 9th, folks. You want to make sure you get your church involved, make a big turnout on that opening wing. Let's see another face-bait film in that top 10. This has been such a great run. Even if it's films that you really haven't seen yet or heard much about, it's been great to have these kind of topics of discussion with your friends and family about, Jesus being a part of Hollywood and Hollywood films and non-Hollywood films, independent ones as well, which is what Mom's Night Out is. And a great time, and it's been a great chance talking with you, Robert. Thank you so much, and God bless you till we can talk again.
Thank you so much, and if anybody wants to just keep up with me, you can find me on Facebook or even on Twitter at Robert Amaya Jr. God bless you all. Thank you.
Yeah, we're going to link to that so you guys can get to that, and you can like his Facebook page, follow him on Twitter, and keep up with what's going on. And you guys take care, and I will talk soon.
Bye-bye.